So this is going to be for my August single. And to be quite honest, it's not the song I was planning on releasing. I've decided that for the artwork for the one I was planning, I really want to spend some focused time on. For this one, though, I have some ideas. But before we do that, we're gonna have a history lesson on this song, because this will be the fourth or fifth iteration of this song, and you'll see why in a minute. So let me switch over to this screen real quick. So what you can see here is these are the previous iterations. That's this song. Let's talk about the first iteration, which was on an album that I released on mp3.com in 1999 or 2000 or 2002. I'm not really positive. Actually, it was 2002. Okay, so I can't keep track of it all. So was a funny name that I came up with. It looking back, you're going to hear me say this a lot too. Looking back, I wasn't really too satisfied with the overall result, but I was just happy to actually be creating music. So now the thing that I am going to cringe over is I'm going to show you this album cover. So let me bring this up real quick. Oh, I cringe at it every time I look. But this was the album cover for the first CD I ever actually released to you. And if I recall, I think I may have sold up to 50 of them, which was really surprising. But then mp3.com went away. But the next iteration, let me bring up the artwork for that, which is still kind of cringy, but we'll go from there. So yeah, so I think I was still using Corel Draw at the time. And there you have the album title. Kind of stupid. But what you're seeing in the center of the album is, this was probably when I was really trying to get into doing, you know, abstract albums, concept albums that had a story behind them. It was about a guy that was basically going crazy, seeing things in his head. So a little bit different, not as cringy as the Times version, but still a little cringy. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. So then I didn't touch that for a long time. And then in 2016 or 2017, and so I pulled everything off, and my plan was to either remaster, well, my plan was to originally remaster everything and then release it under my new publishing entity. But before I did, I put together this anthology of music, which as a Patreon member, you've seen me post the first song from that, which was I Dream of Brighter Days. And in a few days, I'm going to be posting the next song from that album. But I put it out there so that there would be something available that if people wanted to go listen or be a Bandcamp, they could. But they didn't get released to all the digital services. And probably seen that that's been taken offline. That's a Patreon perk exclusively now. The vinyl sleeves in Ambient Highways, that's the image that's used for sleeves inside the album. And so that was in 2017, or 2020, excuse me. 2020. So I've been working on this version of it for a little bit here and there, and I think it's pretty much done. So what we're gonna do is, I think we're gonna let this one play all the way through, so you can kind of see in Sonar how I've got it set up. I'll switch between the console view, etc., for any last minute tweaks that I want to make. And then I'm going to render that out, master it, and go ahead and start getting things ready for distribution and do some of the artwork. So I'm going to shut up and let this play. All right, so at the very beginning, let's, I'm going to add just a half a second of silence in the beginning there. I do that because I hate it when you're listening on some device and you go click play, but the actual audio device or the speakers that you're listening on don't actually kick in immediately. So I always do that. So we're going to do that at the start of the file, half a second. All right, perfect. Then I'm going to jump down to the end. I don't think y'all can hear this, so just making sure that's where I want it to be. And I want to add, I'm going to fade out just the end of it. And then add half a second of silence to the end of it. Okay. I'm going to resave that back out. Okay, so that's the end of part one. In part two, we'll cover finalizing the artwork. You'll actually probably see the draft of the artwork along with this post, because I'm going to go ahead and package up the multiple versions. You might, the art that you'll see in this latest version may be the final art. I'm not 100% sure, but in the next video, we'll talk about it. Or if it does become the finalized version, maybe we won't. We'll just move on to getting this uploaded onto CD Baby and prepared for release. But until next time, thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this, let me know. Let me know in the comments, and let me know if you'd like to see more like this. Maybe I'll do a behind the scenes, behind the music video on the entire album, and you can just watch me cringe through the whole thing. But if that's something you're into, let me know. Take care. Bye-bye.